There used to be a Graying Tower alone.
Over the years, the world of comics has seen many memorable couples. Now, with Valentine's Day right around the corner, we thought it would only be fitting to talk about some of our favorites. So both Ryan and Kyle have picked their 4 favorites, and we're going to talk about them, and I'm going to talk about them too, and give my opinion. So starting with Ryan. Ryan, first couple.
Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
Okay, why?
Reason being, I really like the dynamic between the two of them during the Secret Invasion. Because the fact that they had a child together, I thought, well, was really interesting. The fact that, to see a kind of a hard-edged character that is Luke Cage just kind of lose it for his child, like, I really love that dynamic. And one thing that you don't see too often is actually an interracial couple, which I thought was really intriguing too, because I don't know, as far as the social dynamics as comics go, how prevalent that is.
And the cool thing about that couple that I like is that she brings out different dimensions to the character.
Yeah.
That were never there before. Before he was just the angry black guy who smashed things.
Yeah,
and it's completely fleshed out the character and added whole other levels to it. Kyle.
I'm going to start with Aspen Matthews and Chance Calloway.
Okay. Who are they?
They're from Fathom.
All right, tell me about them.
Well, yeah, you know nothing about them.
I know. I never will.
All right. Well, Aspen grew up on the surface, and she's also from an underwater race.
Okay.
And the way I see it is Chance really connects her to the surface world. And the surface world and the underwater world are at war.
So it's a little bit of a Little Mermaid type of thing going on. It's like Ariel and Eric. Are they pulled apart? Are they not supposed to be together?
Well, they're at war, of course.
So is there a struggle?
No, they're there. Well, at first there was tension, of course, but no, he's one more reason to connect her to the human world, whereas she's born from the blue, from underwater.
Cool. All right, Ryan, what's your next pick?
Bigby Wolf and Snow White from the Fables.
Okay. The two opposites attract.
Yeah, it's kind of like the quintessential. He's from what I've read in Fables thus far, Bigby Wolf is he's obviously the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
And he's the sheriff of Fableton, and he's drawn very similarly to Wolverine sans the mask.
Yep.
So I kind of get the feeling that that's the type of a character that they have him going as.
Yeah.
And then Snow White's very much like kind of this, stereotypically stuck-up, prissy kind of a character. Very jaded from being cheated on by Prince Charming.
She's an uptown girl.
Exactly.
Looking for a downtown guy.
Exactly. And that's what I really liked about it. There's a lot of humorous stuff in there.
Especially, the first arc, there's the flirting, and then really into the third arc, when they're off in the woods and everything, things start getting
and it's not intentional. They're both under a magic spell that sends them out on like a quote unquote honeymoon weekend.
And really, that's every fanboy's dream, is to use that magical spell on the hot chick to get her to go on the honeymoon with them.
Because when they got back, when the spell wore off, Bigby Wolf wasn't that upset. Snow White was devastated.
Kyle, what's next on your list?
I'm going to pick Daredevil and Echo.
Daredevil, let's see, what's the best way to say this? It's a bit of a man whore. Daredevil has a few notches on his belt.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, you go with Echo.
Right.
What's special about the Daredevil and Echo relationship that you love?
Well, 2 things for me. One, Vision Quest and Parts of Whole was one of the first stories I read, so I kind of fell in love with Daredevil and the comic medium reading that story. And of course, you've got the classic story where Matt Murdock and Maya Lopez fell in love as themselves and were fighting as Daredevil and Echo.
Right.
So.
Ryan, number 3 on your list.
MJ and Peter Parker.
Why MJ and Peter Parker? Peter Parker's another one. He's had a laundry list. So you're picking Mary Jane.
She's Mary Jane seems like the quintessential girlfriend wife to a superhero, in my humble opinion.
You make me so mad. Because I think Gwen Stacy meant so much more to Peter Parker than Mary Jane ever will. Because, I mean, he didn't make a deal with the devil to get rid of Gwen Stacy.
But, you know, she was the one that pushed for the kind of mental lapse, if you will.
Yeah.
Pushed for that to happen because she knew what Peter Parker needed to do in order to carry on as Spider-Man. Hence the quintessential significant other in the Superman.
I mean, I can see the point of her making a sacrifice like that. The whole thing with Gwen Stacy off the bridge, that kept him as Spider-Man. He was ready to give up being Spider-Man, and then the whole Gwen Stacy thing kept him going. I think it still keeps him going. Or if it didn't, you know, he wouldn't be so upset with Norman all the time. I mean, okay, but are you pining for them to get back together? Or are you, like, looking at the teasers that are coming out for this year and stuff and saying, okay, yes, it's going to happen. They're going to...
I'm not pining for it at all. I'd actually be a little upset if they got married again or if they even became an item again, just because then what the hell was the point of breaking them up to begin with?
So you like the tragic ending?
I do kind of like the tragic ending.
And have you read Spider-Man Below?
I have not.
Okay, read it. Okay, Kyle. Number 3.
I'm gonna pick Joker and Harley.
Joker and Harley is one of the most screwed up relationships. It's a great one. It's a great one. It's twisted on so many levels. Some people say it's true love. Others say Joker's abusing her and she's just into it. Like, what's your take?
Well, I read this and I loved it. It was such a great read. It's a lot of fun. I mean, the title Mad Love is so appropriate. Like, she's madly in love with him. It's practically blind love, I think. I mean, he constantly kicks her to the curb and she'll go on a heist and get tons of money and goodbye Harley. Like, it's crazy. It's tons of fun to read. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Ryan, what is your favorite couple?
Batman and Catwoman.
Now, see, this one, okay, tell me why before I say anything.
She comes off as almost the female version of Batman. Like, they're both driven by their own purposes, their own goals. They're both very driven people, and, you know, I don't know, there's just something there. There's just some sort of mystique about that relationship that really...
It's funny because a lot of people would say, like, Joker and Harley, that Joker is incapable of actually being in love with Harley because he's so psychotic. And I think of Batman as being just as psychotic as the Joker in his own way. I mean, R.I.P. showed how messed up he is. I don't think he's really capable of really being in love with anybody other than Gotham City.
I think that would be the closest fit for him, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
If Batman...
I see Catwoman as a booty call for Batman, if nothing more. I think, it's almost one of those things that, he's been hanging out with Robin so long that he has to hook up with Catwoman just to shut people up.
Well, it's also one, too, that it seems like it's more pushed as Batman and Catwoman and not Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle.
Kyle, what is your number 1?
Daredevil and Elektra.
Okay, Daredevil back on the list.
Yeah. I just, it's such a fun story for me. Like, they, fell in love as high schoolers, and, like, then all of a sudden, because they're so different, she got hired by Kingpin, then they're fighting each other, she's become an assassin. Like, there's such tension there that it's tons of fun. Like, every time they cross paths, like, it's there, but they know it doesn't work.
Well, I think one of the last times, the Murdoch Papers.
Right.
And
she saved him. Like,
yeah, and that was a great moment because, like you said, they can't be together,
right.
But she can do, like, those little things,
right.
But actually, that was a scroll. Yeah, sorry about that.
Man. Well, at the time it was Elektra.
Yeah, we'll you don't have to get the scroll. It was Elektra.
She's supposed to kill Foggy, and when Foggy recognizes her, she can't do it. Like,
right.
I love that.
So now, because you have Daredevil on the list twice,
yeah.
If it comes down to it,
yeah.
For Matt Murdock's happy ending, which he'll never have,
No.
Because the closest thing was Mila, and,
Right.
and that,
No.
oh man, that went right to hell. Happy ending, who does he end up with? Is it Echo or is it Elektra? In your happy ending. And
I'll pick Elektra, because I think we're going to
There used to be a graying tower